3.2 box plots, or we will tell the same refers box and whiskers diagrams. Box plot is a graphical representation of important features in the data set. So what are these important features? Minimum, maximum, first, second, third quartiles, and outliers. Um, we'll discuss with the example that with the example what is box plot. I'm going to discuss example 1 in the book. The first step is we need to separate data set, separate extreme values or outliers from the data set. So that is the first thing we need to do. For this, we should know first quartile. In this sum, we found out it is 3.2, and the third quartile, that is going to be 3.4. Then interquartile range IQR, that is 4 minus 3.2, 0.8. Then we need to find the boundaries for outliers. Then boundaries for outliers. Upper is 4 plus 1.5 times 0.8. We had this one 5.2, and lower is 3.2 minus 1 point times 0.8, so that is going to be 2. Now we have the boundaries. From these boundaries we have to separate outlier from the data set. Now we know that we will check with this data set in example 1, and we found out what is the outlier. We have only one outlier. So outlier right here is 1.7. Now we have a data set. So only now we separate one outlier. So how many remaining data now? N equal 30 minus 1. 1 is gone there. So 29 data set. Datas. Now pick up the small and the largest. Then find the minimum and maximum values of the data set. So what is the minimum and maximum now? Minimum is, I can see 2.2. So minimum is 2.2. Minimum 2.2 and max 5.1. Now we can draw the box plot. So first of all, we need the number line. This is the number line. And the first line goes in the number line Q1, 3.2. So I'll draw this is 3.2 line. This value is 3.2. 3.2. And the other value is Q3. That is 4. So I write here 3.2. And other value is 4. And we complete the box now. Now we need the median. Then median. What is median? In this one, we found out Q2 equal 3.8. I'll write here median. Right. Median is 3.8, which is Q2. Now we need to mark the median, 3.8. So this is lower quartile, Q1. This is Q2 median and Q3. And then we complete the box. And they are whiskers. And this one end is going to be the minimum value. And the other end is going to be the maximum. So what is the minimum value? Here, 2.2. So 2.2 we don't write, we draw in the graph for your understanding. I am writing. So this value is 2.2. And this value is 5.1. Now, after that, we have to mark the outlier. So outliers is 1.7 somewhere here. So we did the box plot. So it is very simple. It is a box in this boundary Q1 and then Q2 and the other boundary Q3. And this is the minimum value and that is the maximum value, and those are outliers. So first of all, when you get the data set, separate the outliers from the data set and then select minimum and maximums. So this value is going to be 1.7. In this sum, the data set is given. Example 1, you can see the data set is given. But now I am going to alter this sum. The data set is not given, but some data are given. One more thing, in the previous sum, I have to erase this. I can't leave that middle line. So it is going to be something like this. Now, outlier is Q1 is given 3.2, Q2 is given 3.8, Q3 is given 4, and outlier is given 1.7. Now how do we do this one? Still the same, right? We find the Q1 3.2, that is Q1, and we draw this one Q2, and we draw Q3 as well. Now we have a problem. There is no minimum and maximum value. Then in that case, what do we do? The boundary for the extreme value become the minimum and maximum. So we had a lower boundary for outliers. We had 2, and upper boundary for outliers is 5.2. In that case, this value is going to be 2 and this value is going to be 5.2 because there are no true values. And outliers will mark as usual, that is 1.7. Actually, in previous sum, it should be 2.2 in the previous sum. I think I wrote as 2. It should be correct to 2.2. I'm sorry about this, because just now I noticed that now when you take the 1.7 out, next value is not 2, it is 2.7. So in the previous sum, previous box plot, it should be 2.2. But let me draw the previous one first. Okay, So, and let me finish this one, 5.2, and this is 2. The previous one we discussed was this box plot, and this is Q1 3.2, and then Q2 3.8, and Q3 4, and this boundary was 5.1, and the other boundary has to be 2.2. So I think in the previous way when I was discussing, I wrote as 2, it has to be 2.2. So this is the previous one with the data. This is without data. In here we don't know what are the data. Only we have Q1, Q2, Q3 and outlier. Now we'll discuss the exercise that is 3B.